This is the TR-3A Black Manta. It is either one of the most advanced aircraft in history, a real-life UFO, or it's a hoax, a massive hoax, but some say respectable voices say they've seen it. The TR-3A has no fuselage or tail. It's a flying wing design, like a mentor to the B-2 Spirit. Its focus is on stealth. It is likely constructed with advanced composites or materials that enhance its stealth capabilities, potentially including radar-absorbent materials, to reduce its radar cross-section. The color of choice is matte black or dark gray, to not only make the aircraft invisible to radar, but also to the human eye. The overall flying wing shape of the aircraft reduces radar reflections. Serrations or edge treatments on control surfaces would further scatter radar waves. The heat from heat sources such as the engines are suppressed. Engine noises are also suppressed for acoustic stealth. Air intakes and exhausts are placed strategically for the same acoustic stealth reason. Powering the TR-3A would be conventional turbojet or turbofan engines integrated directly into the aircraft's body with a focus on stealth. The TR-3A is a technological marvel that really doesn't want to be seen, featuring technologies that almost no aircraft in history can boast of. Still, despite its incredible advancements, it pales in comparison to its successor, another UFO-looking machine of the past and the future, the TR-3B Astra. The TR-3B Astra has never been captured on camera. Sightings and documents of secret black projects are its only evidence of existence, but they are detailed, very detailed, much larger than the TR-3A. The TR-3B is described as a large, equilateral triangle, often compared to the shape seen in many UFO sightings. The TR-3B Manta appears to be a highly capable aircraft if its actual designs and features are as reported. For one, it has a triangular shape that, as can be inferred from the B-2 Spirit and F-117 Nighthawk, is incredible for stealth. At the three corners of this triangle, on the bottom side, are turbofan engines with thrust vectoring nozzles that allow for incredibly high G-turns and a dizzying number of rapid, high-speed maneuvers. These include perfect right-angle turns and hyper-acceleration, which would see the aircraft cut through the air better than fighters specifically built for dogfights. The TR-3B's primary propulsion, its anti-gravity drive, with minimal moving parts, enabled the aircraft travel extremely silently. Perhaps an explanation for why sighters only describe the aircraft by some light glowing underneath it and hardly ever its sound. Such quietness, combined with the fact that the plasma the TR-3B generates significantly reduces the aircraft's radar signature, means the TR-3B could sneak into just about any airspace of any country and not be detected by its air traffic control or air defense systems. This makes it perfect for missions in which stealth is paramount, which was almost every mission in the 1990s when there was a lot of spying going on between the US and the Soviet Union. It's probably no coincidence that the aircraft developed around this time all prioritized stealth greatly. The F-117 Nighthawk, B-2 Spirit, and F-22 Raptor, for instance, all probably taking notes from the TR-3B. All three of these aircraft went on to have their respective stellar careers. The F-117 Nighthawk became the first operational aircraft to be designed with stealth technology. It would display the dominance that came with this feature in the Gulf War and the conflict in Yugoslavia. Only one was ever shot down. The B-2 Spirit is the only aircraft to combine long-range, stealth, and a heavy payload on a single platform. It can carry a payload of up to 20 tons and reach any point in the world within hours. At $2 billion apiece, it is the most expensive aircraft in history. The F-22 Raptor, which is the primary reason the Nighthawk was retired, was the world's first fifth-generation fighter, and despite being in service for almost 2 decades now, it is still the most lethal fighter ever built thanks to its super maneuverability, super cruise, space bordering altitude, and so on. At $350 million apiece, it is also the most expensive fighter in history. It would appear that the TR-3B has been the inspo for some of the most successful and most advanced aircraft in history. These descendants, to some degree, share some core features with the TR-3B, but none has been able to replicate the anti-gravity drive propulsion system of the UFO-looking aircraft. And that isn't out of choice. The technology that revolves around such a propulsion system is almost as alien as the aircraft itself. To put it simply, it is incredibly, wildly, and unbelievably sophisticated. Simple enough. The US has been working on anti-gravity technology for over 70 years, since the 1950s. The types of anti-gravity, propellantless propulsion, and mass reduction technologies described in the Navy's recent UFO design patents have been established to be based on more than 60 years of peer-reviewed research conducted and published by the most notable institutions such as the American Institute of Physics, NASA, the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, and the Air Force Research Laboratory. Also, these are only information from unclassified sources. There is likely more to see from classified sources, so it appears the most advanced laboratories under control of both the armed forces and the academic world have been trying their best to figure out anti-gravity for the better part of a century. So far, the TR-3B is one of the few, if not the only, aircraft tied to reality that dares to succeed at an anti-gravity-based propulsion system as its engine. And here's how that engine was engineered. During its alleged development, the TR-3B was reportedly codenamed Astra. Its first operational reconnaissance flight took place in the early 1990s, and its nuclear battery to power its anti-gravity propulsion system was built with the highest level of secrecy in the Aurora program. The Aurora program saw billions of dollars spent on the TR-3B, coordinated by the NSA, NRO, and CIA. The result? A propulsion system like no other. A circle filled with accelerating plasma inside the aircraft, known as magnetic field decay, or MFD for short, surrounds the crew compartment and is superior to any currently known technology for its use. MFD creates a magnetic field that neutralizes the influence of gravity by up to 89%. That means the weight of the circular accelerator, as well as the weight of the aircraft, is reduced by up to 89%. This makes this flying vehicle extremely easy to maneuver. With this miracle weight loss, the TR-3B would, on paper, be able to travel at Mach 9 speeds, both vertically and horizontally, with its performance probably only limited by its pilot's biological limitations. The plasma in the MFD that enables all of these to happen is another wonder on its own. It is created by bringing mercury to a pressure of 250,000 atmospheres at a temperature of -123 degrees Celsius right in the aircraft, powered by its nuclear battery. If accelerated to 50,000 revolutions per minute, the ordinary plasma becomes a superconducting plasma, resulting in the activation of the MFD, which then neutralizes gravitational force and floats the aircraft into the sky. The power to control the impact of gravity on an object is incredible power, almost godlike. The uses could far exceed propulsion and break down the walls between reality and science fiction. It's the kind of power that made scientists from Washington and Moscow team up to figure out. With the power of anti-gravity, military forces would be able to repel incoming artillery mid-flight without having to actually intercept it and ultimately prevent threats from hitting targets. With anti-gravity, countries could also bid farewell to the grossly inefficient rocket fuel. For context on just how inefficient rocket fuel is, the mass of fuel required to get to the nearest neighboring star is the same mass as the Sun. Surely, that's impossible, at least for now. So, anti-gravity propulsion technology comes with benefits that really could change the world, but only if scientists and engineers can figure it out. The TR-3B could help with that. It appears to have in the past, but the question remains, what would be of its future and the future of other secret black aircraft like it? The future of secret black aircraft promises to be an interesting one that could make any aircraft jealous. To be clear, black here doesn't necessarily mean the color of the aircraft only, or even at all. Secret projects are generally referred to as black projects, and therefore the aircraft they birth can be referred to as black aircraft. These black aircraft will likely play very crucial roles in some very crucial projects, such as stealth evolution. The future will likely see continued advancements in stealth technology, making aircraft even harder to detect across multiple spectrums: radar, thermal, acoustic, and so on. This could involve new materials like metamaterials that bend light, or active stealth systems that dynamically adjust to threats. Exotic propulsion. While anti-gravity still remains in the realm of science fiction and a tough nut to crack in reality, research into it and other more efficient and powerful propulsion systems will continue. This might include advanced ion thrusters for space applications, nuclear propulsion for long-duration flights, or even harnessing quantum effects for propulsion. AI and autonomy. Unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, have become a real thing, a real lethal machine on the battlefield. Such pilotless vehicles becoming a major threat on the battlefield has opened the world to the idea that maybe human input is overhyped. ADI and autonomy is therefore getting more and more embraced by the day. The integration of artificial intelligence in black projects could therefore lead to fully autonomous aircraft with capabilities far beyond current UAVs, potentially including autonomous decision-making in combat scenarios or reconnaissance missions. Hybrid space air vehicles. The fancy propulsion system of the TR-3B reportedly enabled the aircraft to reach space-bordering altitudes. This might explain why it was spotted so rarely. Irrespective, progress on similar aircraft could see more aircraft develop to reach the borders of space or even go beyond. True hybrid aircraft that can operate in the atmosphere in space could soon become a thing. They would be more jaw-dropping than actual UFOs, if those are real. At long last, the truth could be wilder than fiction. In the shadowed corridors of technological advancement, secret black aircraft stand as silent sentinels, the guardians of the sky's darkest secrets, and the source of many technologies that are quite simply unbelievable. From mysterious aircraft like the TR-3A Black Manta and TR-3B Astra, to initially top-secret aircraft like the F-117 Nighthawk, SR-71 Blackbird, and F-22 Raptor. These aircraft have played their roles in ensuring the United States has the most advanced air force in the world, and they're not stopping. The future promises to host their descendants with the same exact goal in mind, keeping the US at the top of the food chain. To support these aircraft, subscribe to this channel and give this video a like. Thanks for watching.